Thank you and welcome back to the final segment of the show for today. We're talking to Vice Mayor Jay West, who is the candidate for mayor of the city of Nashville. And of course, Mayor West, before we had our commercial break, we were talking about downtown development and et cetera. And let's continue that by having you to talk about not only downtown development, but let's have you to say something about some of the other areas that you think are important, more specifically the area dealing with the Dell computer situation. Let's see if you can give our audience some information relative to that this morning.
Well, once again, Nashville and Middle Tennessee got a great compliment when the Dell Corporation knocked on our door and said we would like to open up our second manufacturing facility in your area. That's the biggest compliment any city in the United States could have. Similar to the Oilers knocking on our door saying we'd like to locate our team here. Initially, that will create 3,000 jobs for Nashvillians. These are jobs that are, quite frankly, hadn't been offered very much in our particular area. Is it a good deal or is it a bad deal? That is open for debate, open for interpretation. I think only time will tell on something like that. I can relate to the Ford Motor Company in 1955 wanting to locate a glass plant here in Nashville, and they asked us to build a road for them. They asked the county of Davidson County to build a road for them, and people were somewhat outraged at that particular time that we would take the tax dollars and help and put it toward a private business. Well, I'm not real sure about the Dell deal. As my grandmother would say, the proof is in the pudding, but obviously the Ford glass plant has been a successful venture and has been a company that has offered up to 4,000 jobs for our Nashville and Middle Tennesseans. The Dell situation is an opportunity for our economy to diversify even more. We do not want to be dependent on a particular industry for our economy and for our income, because obviously with that industry, it has a dip in that particular industry where sales may be going down or the economy with regard to that industry goes down. Obviously it'll hurt us a lot. So this helps our economy to become more diverse. Our economy nowadays is very good. Our unemployment rate is very, very low. It always won't be that way. We must always have an eye to the future about how we can keep our Nashvillians employed with quality jobs so that we can have a workforce that has an income that can pay the taxes. Yes, there are some tax incentives being given to that particular company, but it's interesting. That company has what they call a just-in-time inventory, which means a lot of suppliers have to locate close to where that manufacturing facility is very quick, because they can get those component parts that go into the finished product there almost on a daily basis. And so those people will be the taxpayers. Upwards of 50 companies that will be locating here that will supply those component parts that will go into those computers that will be shipped out of here. So I personally think it's a good deal, but it should be examined as it goes through the council and is given to the mayor to examine. It should be examined very, very closely to see if we are getting our dollars worth out of it, and number two, will it provide us quality jobs for years and years to come.
What about the workforce that would be available? I understand that there has been some controversy in reference to whether or not we're really prepared for that workforce. Let's speak to that.
Well, our unemployment rate in the Nashville is very low, but in the surrounding counties, it's not as low as that. I think that Dell has made their, I am told that Dell has made their research, and they indicate that there is a suitable workforce here for them. But again, we must have an eye to the future, and our unemployment rate will not be this low. It's low as it's been for a many years, and it will. And when the unemployment rate starts to go up, I think Dell will be there as a buffer to provide those necessary jobs for those people. Dell is not a smokestack industry. It is a clean industry. It provides very well-paying jobs for our people, and I think it's going to be a good investment for Nashville. Again, as my grandmother would say, the proof is in the pudding, and we'll have to wait and see. But preliminarily, it looks like a good deal. But nevertheless, as it goes to the council, it does need to be examined to make sure that it's a good deal for everybody in Nashville, not just a selected few.
You know, we've got about 2.5 minutes left, Mr. West. Let's give you an opportunity perhaps to say something about affirmative action and the Human Relations Committee, because I think that has been one of the controversies in the government of late. Let's talk about those two items, and we'll call it quit for today here.
As mayor, I will use the Human Relations Committee to report to me on affirmative action issues and those places in government, in the metro government, that does not practice effective affirmative action. I think it's an important part that this government should reflect exactly what this community looks like. One of the reasons this community is strong is because of its diversity here. We have a lot of nationalities of people. We have a great amount of, with regard to geographical distribution. The diversity is what makes us strong, but diversity sometimes can create opportunities where we don't give people the advantage that they need. The Human Relations Commission should advise me as mayor on an ongoing basis those investigations or those reports that they get, and they should investigate so that we could properly enforce our affirmative action laws, our affirmative action policies, because no door in the metro government should be closed in anybody's face, no matter where they live in this entire county. That I am unwavering on. I will not stand for that. I will not put up with that. I will make sure every door of this government is open for every person of this government, because it's not my government, it's your government and everybody else's government, and they're the taxpayers, and they're the customers, and they deserve to have that door open.
Very good. Let me thank you, Vice Mayor West, for coming by and giving us that excellent information about your background, your education, and some of the other things that went into making you and preparing you for the mayor of the city of Nashville. Let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.